The Minecraft ClaySoldiers mod pack has been featured and spread since 2011 with some of the more unique handcrafted mods, such as this one, or the more popular, more generic, but still very good mod packs, such as ClaySoldiers and more, with even 1.12.2 mod packs, and now we're getting 1.21.2 mod packs. However, it seems over the years they're getting somewhat worse. And I'm going to explain about all the Clay Soldiers mod packs, about everything about Clay Soldiers. From how now the oldest versions are dying due to antiquated Java graphics, and the newer ones have somehow worse AI, less features than the original mods, but adding their own stuff, which is good, but also less functionality overall. It's the mods are somehow getting worse and removing all these aspects that made the original mods so much better. And now these newest mods are somehow getting worse. They're going back on things that were already well developed. Now, not all new mods. I use the 1.12.2 mod. It almost replicates the originals, but it loses stuff even though it adds more. The worst offender is the 1.21.1 mod. It erases so much of the AI, so much of the code, and only puts some new items in there because it's a modern form of Minecraft, but it doesn't do it well, not like the originals. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on the 1.12.2 Clay Soldiers mod pack. The one that we are using, the one that is closest to the original mod pack, as well as chunk loaders. As you can see, the main thing that we use for all the Clay Soldiers, including any RTS, real-time strategy, or TBS, turn-based strategy, we will be using chunk loaders. That's how you can see outside of the chunks, that's how you can mark their actions, and a lot of other stuff. This version has a limit on how many soldiers there can be, period, but it is a very large limit, and look how reactive the soldiers are. You place something, everyone immediately flocks to it. Yes, it's a little laggy. I'm going through to the highest numbers of clay soldiers there can be. And yes, sometimes their movement is kind of buggy, but you can see they are reactive. The second you drop something, they will flock to it. Unlike some of the newer mod packs, which truly butcher the AI. Now, as you can see, we have set up a offensive camp over here for the blue team, and over here we have a neutral resource zone. Anyone can go up to this and grab necessary resources. We have a minor little outpost defensive location here for the red team. We have some battlements over here. Then we get more into the red fortress. We have the red tower right here. As you can see, it is completely mounted with ranged weaponry. We have more of the red fortress going all the way to their main battlements. And yes, you might say that this looks simple compared to some of the other stuff we are doing with Clay Soldiers, but this is a combat test. This is a mod test. This is reactability. We're showing all the stuff that the original Clay Soldiers mod packs had. Now, this isn't the original mod packs. As I said, we are in 1.12.2. I wish we had the 1.7.10 version back. Sadly, we do not. We can't do the 1.7.10. It doesn't work the same way. There's video proof of that and what it looks like with modern Java, but it's very hard to mess with Java, have multiple instances. It's annoying, and I wish we had the original mod packs in current versions, because then we could do some really cool stuff with it. But as is, we do have chunk loaders, we do have some of the older mod packs in here, and yes, it is kind of laggy. But it's about to get laggier. As you can see, we have full health bars of all these guys. Now, if I were to drop this sky high right here, as you can see, everyone, including the enemy team, starts to react to it. Then these guys start looking back at each other because, you know, there's a wall right here. They can kind of see over the wall. But look, everyone on the map that's in the current loaded area, including ones all the way up there, can see that there is an item drop. If I were to drop one right here, as you can see, the lag is getting slightly worse, but everyone starts reacting to it. Everyone on the current map that can see it. They have a very good vision radius for items. Now, combat vision radius, that's different. First of all, as you can see, all of the archers or ranged units have glasses on. This is their glass upgrade. gives them better combat vision, better normal vision, and improves the ranged attacks. As you can see, we are using a number of items including fire attacks, spears, normal archers, medics, wizards, bunch of stuff. Guys that can go in water, bunch of useful things like this. Also, chest. You put a new item in there, and they will start taking directly out of the chest. It depends on what clay soldier is on here. This means anyone can take from it. You put a red soldier there, only red soldiers can take from it. Great mod stuff. They have chest interactability, they have redstone. It will spawn in the clay soldiers via redstone. So you could have a random setup where the clay soldiers will randomly walk over a singular area and it will spawn stuff in. We did lose the Nexus, which was in some of the oldest versions. Now we're gonna go over what the Nexus is and a bunch of other stuff later, but why don't we just start this battle right now? And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we will be having this battle. It's going to be blue team on offense versus red team on defense. We're gonna see who wins. Let the battle begin. We got lightning on the field. We got the wizards fighting. We got fire and blindness being used. As you can see, we have the red soldiers. All the blue teams just got targeted on one man there. They were all ganging up on him. Items being dropped. Most of the casualties do seem to be red soldiers though. And the blue team is looting any resources they're dropping. A lot of red team casualties. Any blue team casualties are being healed immediately either by the medics or by the surgeons, making sure that they can resuscitate any soldier on the field. Some damage happening to the blue team, as you can see. We got a couple of very low HP guys. Some of them are getting stuck due to slime, but blue team has not even gotten into the rougher red team position just yet. The initial red force is doing a pretty decent job, as you can see, a lot of decent low HP soldiers, and it looks like they are getting rid of some of their gear. Blue team did loot up a lot of stuff from them though. Yeah, the initial red soldiers are all dying, but we do have this little hard point over here doing pretty well. They're using all of their ranged attacks, mainly fire though, and that's being negated by the water. Little lull in combat right now. They are chasing over after these last couple of guys, looting both glass and a couple of other items off of them. Feathers are being left alone. Blue soldier downed over here, actually multiple of them. We're gonna see if their surgeons can resuscitate any of these guys. For ease of access, let's just start opening this on up, due to vision reasons. Active combat. Any surgeon's gonna start saving these guys. There might just not be any surgeons in this area. Oh, looks like there is a surgeon. Killed at least one guy off the ground. Two guys now. Guys, we're gonna heal this last man over here. We might need a second surgeon. Red team is getting kind of obliterated now. Unfortunate problem though. Do gotta do this just so they don't instantly die from the water. That is kind of an issue. Drowning is a thing too. Looks like blue surgeons are back. They are healing some of their guys up. Lots of gear being hit right now. No real blue attack going into any of red's main bases yet. Mainly it is just this hard point. Some red teams also trickling in here. Red team was taken out. Blue team now owns this area, and is blue team looting any of the... Looks like they did loot a decent amount of resources, and is taking lily pads for swimming. Some blue team now going up here to assault some of red's inner positions. Let's kind of help them out. Red soldier dying over there. Red does have surgeons. None of them have left the main area to start healing these red team up though. Combat over there. Finally some inner red team combat. We got a bunch of let's take a couple of archers over here now. Also some have snowballs and are throwing them to give these soldiers some slowness. I'm not even gonna dare punch in that block. Okay, they are approaching the first line. How are these archers doing? I think there's a surgeon on the field for red team. Or at least there was. There are a lot of looks like one of blue team members got killed. They did have iron. Red team looted that off of them. Oh, red archers finally starting to do some stuff. An assault coming on over here too. Blue team finally actually assaulting some of these positions. Not a lot of red team combating them though. Red team's coming in like trickling in a little bit, which is not good for them. But the red team archers and ranged weapons are doing a little bit of work. Looks like the one with the fire weapon's doing good too. Ranged soldiers on the red team are doing a decent amount of work. On top of that, looks like there aren't any blue surgeons directly right here, so there are starting to get a couple of casualties on the blue team. Looks like this guy's trying his best, but he is missing most of his shots. Some of them were hiding underneath. Looks like a wizard was able to take that guy out. Okay, lag is starting to clear up a little bit, that's good. Yeah, blue team mostly heading that way. Nothing yet on this side. Couple of red soldiers got killed. One blue getting very close to the... Where the heck did you come from? You guys like having a staring contest or something over here? Looks like he ran out of shots. We got this archer over here. Fling. Good job, archer. Yeah, most of these soldiers are now heading up to this position. Are you guys looking at this man? There. He's out of your vision radius now. Fuck. They did not take out the runner just yet, and he's gone. Okay, we really need to move you back behind the line, bro. Everyone on the map is looking at you right now. There's some conflict going on right in the red base. Looks like the wizard just whacked him. Archer is hitting him. He's not really retaliating. We got a couple of lag problems, actually. Oh, we have the blue medic. He can't fight back. That's the issue. The medics can't fight back. Okay. So I think this other guy over here that wasn't fighting back. Yes, he's a blue medic. He actually cannot fight back. Blue soldiers that are trying to get to the medics are being knocked out. That's one for the Geneva Convention, that's for sure. You know, we might need to look at that one again, because I forgot the medics cannot use any form of melee attack. You would have to give them a ranged weapon, aka a sidearm, but that's probably not happening. Yeah, Blue's medics just got dunked on. Now that we moved this area out, Wizard doing a lot of work, kinda getting multiple triple teams. Let's try and give his other allies a chance of supporting. Going out, other wizard going out, and they're probably gonna get. Dumb is actually doing pretty good. Unfortunate though, and I believe he's going to die to the fire damage. Red positions took a little bit of damage. All of blue team chasing one guy basically over here. They did take out all of this outpost. They didn't hit this high ground yet, but there isn't really a path from the outpost to that high ground. Some of the clay soldiers did take positions to defend their now captured outpost. Blue soldier giving a little bit of help. He was just multi-teamed into an oblivion. Yep, there he goes. He was taken out, but now he's taking up the position of the next soldier. We do got another guy coming in. The medic being very bold, going all the way up to the high ground. Blues trying to get towards this position. Finally getting on top of the tower. Medic apparently did do a little bit of work. Blue team finally moving up to this position, although mostly medics that just got absolutely taken out by their enemies. I'm really surprised on what's going on right here. Apparently an honorable 1v1 is happening over there. Overall stats, blue team does have a lot of numbers, but a lot of them are starting to get hurt. Some of them are taking up positions where their enemies were positioned. With blue team's new orders, they are finally charging up the cliff and towards these. Ooh, they did get a medic back. They are finally attacking this wizard and archer, both out of charges. Looks like a little bit of ranged fighting mainly. Oh, here here comes all the runners. Yep. What remains of those archers are now gone. Blue team is starting to travel there. Last soldier, one hit. And that red soldier is down. Now we do have this position. Wizard doing some work. Another good hit on that guy, but he does have the improved armor, I believe. Yeah, he has the improved armor. Ranged and fire soldier doing some work. Did a lot of damage to him just now. Looks like these archers are finally getting picked off. This position, they still have ammo. Out of ammo. They have a little bit of ammo left. Who are you locked onto right now? No one anymore. One archer left over here. He is locked onto the medic, so... Okay, he did switch targets finally, but he also broke his weapon. Yeah, finally out of ammo over here. Only guy with ammo remaining, I think, is this gunner. And he did just use his last shot on him. And that is the last of the ammo. There is only one red position left. Actually, let's see how good they do against this soldier. We got two guys flying in. Literally, that guy's gliding all the way down. We have Neo from the Matrix dodging almost every gunner shot. He finally did get hit though. And he flew off the edge. Wizard got a decent hit in there. Poor medic. Just poor medic. And the last few defenders making their final stand. They are on stationed mode, so they are basically going to stand and guard their position till the end. Blue team from their forward base took the lake, the frontal red defensive position, the entirety of the red outpost, the red firing platform up here, the red tower, as well as the lower defensive position, and then all three levels of this red fortress, and then the red inner fortress on the top. And without out of the way, this has been ClaySoldiers 1.12.2. Ran a little bit worse than ClaySoldiers 1.7.10 when it came to ClaySoldiers numbers. In that mod, you could have literal hundreds and thousands of ClaySoldiers all fighting in the middle. Looks like some of the random colors that got put in here did get some gear. Right, I wish I had the Clay statistics display. I'm going to be showing all the other mod packs. 1.7.10 had my second favorite addition, the Clay statistics display. It could show you all the colors that are on field, all the mounts that are on field, and speaking of mounts. Hey guys, it's me, Pikminmaster123, here with another video, and today I'm showcasing a project. This is the Minecraft ClaySoldiers mod. However, it is in Minecraft 1.21.1. Now you may be asking me, now that we have it in 1.21.1, can we update the server that we're hosting the current ClaySoldiers videos in for the turn-based strategy game? Sadly, we cannot. However, the turn-based strategy game can continue where it's at. The current turn-based strategy game that we have with the ClaySoldiers Civilizations is hosted in 1.12.2, and right now, that is perfectly fine. Everything is working as intended. Everything is working as it should. Now, there are a lot of things that this mod adds, such as brand new items, brand new abilities, increasing different attributes than they have changed in the past. allowing us to do a lot more custom stuff in this newer mod. However, we cannot continue the game in this newer mod. While it has a lot of functionality, it also loses various other functions that the other mods have. On top of that, even with all these brand new items, it also loses a lot of the functionality of the previous mod, and we will have to update a ton of versions, which will completely ruin the world. That being said, we are planning on improving a lot of stuff from the other mod pack. Now, there is a lot of lost functionality, but there's a lot of new functionality as well. As you can see, we have all the usual clay soldiers. However, this same mod we will also be using for something else in the future. As you can see, there is a whole list of items and exactly what they do. They did add a lot of other use, such as the ability to command clay soldiers, the ability to throw them, and a bunch of other stuff. However, they are also losing a lot of other functionality as well. As you guys can see, the mod does add everything that you remember from the original Clay Soldiers mod pack. However, it also adds a lot of extra stuff. New abilities, new items, new troop types, new add-ons, and units. Some of these special ones being the zombie, which spreads around a team-based plague that can slowly infect enemy teams, turning them to their side. The Necromancer, which can temporarily bring back their teammates. A Medic, which will go around the map healing various clay soldiers that are then set to their team. Adding in everything you know and love about the original. Everything you know and love from the original Clay Soldiers projects, the types of Clay Soldiers, their mounts, and a ton of other stuff has been lost recently from some of these newer mod packs released by other people. At the same time though, I'm glad to see this mod is making a return. Although at the same time, as you can see, there is a pretty significant loss in functionality. The Clay Soldiers are extremely limited in vision. They aren't being attracted to the normal loot. They're just not working as they normally used to. When mod packs change hands and more people come to newer mod packs, a lot of stuff has to get changed. As well as when a newer version comes, a lot of stuff needs to be changed there. And you guys probably already noticed that we did use a 64 set stack. That many may have spawned, but a lot of them despawned, and that's another issue with some of these mods, is that recently there's been some mod pack stuff about the amount of clay soldiers certain mod packs that can handle, and we've been looking at other versions of mods for different stuff. The Clay Soldier Civilization is still taking place, but as you can see here, we do have a brand new modded version that came out recently. Yeah, you can already see the loss in functionality here. You can't stack a lot of these items. The issue when new mods have to be transferred to newer versions is number one, the code is different, then stuff gets changed, then somehow the mod from one has stuff the mod the other one doesn't have. Some of the older mods, the oldest mods, in fact, the oldest mods from the Clay Soldiers mods had more items than we do now. Even more than this newer version has with all of its newer stuff. It had more functionality. It had the Nexus. It had defensive structures basically. And let's actually check right now to see if this mod did keep any of that type of stuff. Okay, maybe someone on that side picked something up. I want to see if they actually kept some of this. And they even got rid of building. Now, it being moved to a newer version, that's very useful. That lets more command block stuff happen. But then again, because we're in a newer version, we are also now losing functionality, and that part of that just does not make. I think these are zombie units. Yeah, they're being turned into red zombie units by the necromancer, and that's a wraith over there. So some of these units are very interesting, but as you can see, we're also losing the functionality of the older mods. And here, I can show it right now. This had some of the best Clay Soldiers mod packs on it, and as you can see, a lot of the images and a lot of the mod packs are missing from the original group. This is all that remains of one of the oldest and possibly even best Clay Soldiers mods, as you can see. As you can probably see. When a mod becomes too old, the mod suffers serious problems and can, in some cases, barely run. This was the old functionality of the Clay Nexus. It could spawn waves, durations, each spawn soldiers, max soldiers, random item choice, and you would input the soldier, possible mount, and items the soldiers could have. As you can see, a lot of these pages are randomly fluctuating, and this used to have some of the best functionality ever. In fact, this isn't even the best Nexus mod. There was another mod, much better than any of these other ones, and it had a lot more compared to a lot of these mods. Although, as you can see, the mods have been slowly degrading over time. And you can already see some of the effect. Ah, there we go. We got it working. And let's see if this will. Yep, it has successfully started spawning its waves. Config. And this was the original mod. These are old mods. And somehow, even the newer mods can't stand a candle to them. We had the Clay Nexus buildings. We had responding Clay Soldiers. These guys. If I just toss it over there, the Clay Soldiers run to it. They actually can see around. Although I will have to see what I have to specifically hold over this. But as you can see, you can probably tell how much this mod has degraded so far. The block textures themselves are changing colors. That's how antiquated this mod is. And I hope you guys can see these what little remains of the soldiers. But even with how degraded this mod is, even with all that, the soldiers are working normally. The entire mod works normally. The only thing that doesn't work normally anymore is the stuff behind the structure behind the mod. Now, to even run this mod now, to run it normally, to run it perfectly, you would need an antiquated version of Java that the computer would not even let you download because it is so old. It would fix all of these problems, but you have to go through 50 different folders, fix a ton of stuff manually. It's gonna keep on trying to update various stuff, but here's the thing. This mod works. Here. Let me try and. There we go. You can follow the clay soldier by right-clicking them and end it by shifting. So you would be able to watch it from the clay soldier's perspective while not actually manually control them. And here, let's watch the battle, because guess what? Even with how antiquated this is, even with Java completely messing up, all the clay soldiers still work. Their AI still works. We have the official Nexus. I'm using the Technic launcher to launch an ancient version of this same mod that's been around for over 15 years now. And all this stuff, and somehow the newer mods, every new mod, we're losing functionality, we're losing all the old stuff, and the AI is getting worse and worse too, because with the newer versions, we're gonna need to add more on there, and more on there, and more on there. You keep on using the old code breaks, that's how it works. And right now we're just losing functionality. Now I would love if someone were to go to this original mod. That's a fun glitch. Right here, Clay Soldiers and more. And then there's also ClaySoldiers+. Two of the best mods. Right now we are on Clay Soldiers and more. ClaySoldiers+ was another very great mod. There was a third one. One of the main three that had the better Nexus. A Nexus that when you right clicked it with gravel turned into a automated turret. When you right click when you gave it fire charge, it would turn into a flamethrower. When you gave it emerald, it would turn into a lightning turret. It had all the old functionality. In fact, where is it? Here, my best example right here. Now, come on guys, build something. Yep, build it. Build it, because whatever you build will probably be completely normal. It would most likely just show up, right? It is a random chance, I do have to admit that. And there we go. Old building functionality, and it all still works. The only thing that's failing right now is the graphics, and the reason the graphics is failing is because it's force updating the new version every single time. It's not keeping a copy of the new version and letting us use old mods. It's antiquating. And that's the only reason why we can't play this normally. That's the only reason why we switched off of this for the idea of the Clay Soldier civilizations. My favorite building. It spawns in with its own materials, depending on what you give them. This was considered the castle. This was considered the small house. There is one more building, the large house, which is from the original Clay Soldiers mod. And look at this. It all still works. All of it still works. I'm even... Here, this is what the Steve skin looks like. With this antiquated version of these mods. And you can even tell that the clay soldiers are holding their items. They're holding the sticks, they're holding the gravel. The closest mod that I have found to this old stuff is the mod we are currently using for the clay soldier civilization, which is 1.12.2. Now, whatever this is being played on, this is not 1.12.2. This is like way older compared. Heck, 1.12.2 doesn't have these graphical glitches. The entire screen doesn't turn green, like. And what you can see isn't dependent on what's in your inventory and what slot you're holding, because that's how this works. Here, look. If I empty this slot, all graphics turn to normal. If I put something back in this slot, yeah, it messes up again. Now, I gotta get, I believe it's this to 8. And then, maybe not. It's that to 10, I think. So I gotta get this slot. Yep, there we go. It's antiquated so much that you have to get certain items in certain numbers in your slot to see stuff. And it's all normal. Look at this. The entire mod is working. It's functional. But yet we can't update this to the newest version. We can't keep it how it was to the newest version somehow. Instead, people are each developing their own version, which, yeah, that's good. But guess what? Nobody can... There we go, actually. We need the oldest version of this mod back. That's what I think. We need the original. And no, I don't mean an unplayable version when I say the oldest version. We need this version of the mod back, the original version. You know what? Let me pull up a different version of this and see if I can possibly try this again. Let's try this, shall we? Minecraft 1.7.10 ClaySoldiers mod. This was one of the 3 great versions of this mod. I really hope it loads the world, though. It might not even. Okay, that breaks it. Okay, good. As you can see, there are a lot of things that break this mod. There it is. Okay, let's try and relaunch this. This is how broken these oldest versions of the mods are, by the way. But it's still playable. It let me on there. It let me run the command. It let me actually get the item. It's so broken that if you do the wrong thing, basically, you can't see the entire map. That's how broken it is. And this is only 1.7. What happens when 1.12 dies? Well, then the entire mod dies then. There's nothing left at that point. There it is! The Nexus. This was the original version of the Nexus. This was the best, most well-developed. It's working somehow. The best, most well-developed version of this mod ever made. Yes! The best developed version of this mod, the closest version of this mod that we have to what I was trying to recreate with this mod version is the closest to what I was trying to recreate with the Minecraft ClaySoldiers civilization. The Nexus, the custom blocks, the completely original working Carpenter's block mod, the weather mod original better version that had more natural disaster types than what we are able to use today. Redstone soldiers, pumpkin, coal, white, yes? All the original stuff. And I'm so glad the mod isn't broken again yet. The working defense towers. The original. And even the top left corner map and the stat readout. Also the first person view from the original ClaySoldiers mod. The Nexus in this mod acts as a permanent respawning to a total of 10 constantly respawning units, also acting as a temporary placement tower, and its best use, the most animated version, was the Lightning Nexus. it stopped functioning. So these things can actually have a health bar. They can both get destroyed. As you see, this was able to destroy the other Nexus, removing its health bar. Respawning over time afterwards the initial activation. And this was the original mod. This is some of the stuff from the original mod. That was the original problem from the middle of the mod. Just started stealing the dirt. Okay, that's turned off. Good. And I believe only one of the Nexus. Actually, no, they're both still active. And this was the. You know what? Let's bring all three of the originals out here. No, we're bringing all the originals out here. I don't care. If the mod is going to work for a little bit, then the mod's gonna work for a little bit. Yellow team with the fireball upgrade. This has gravity. This is aim locking. This is a straight charge shot, kind of like a musket. And this is the original mod. Look, here, let's, wait, the skin works. Let's see F5, look at this thing. Wait, even the texture works when holding. And there's the Easter egg right there. You are not supposed to see this. Smiley face. And look at the Nexus itself. It has a tiny little ClaySoldiers figure in the center. It's basically a sci-fi respawning platform. I'm surprised this mod has not crashed completely yet. You know what? I'm surprised a lot of stuff actually. This is the original mod. This is how we originally tried to do the Minecraft ClaySoldiers Civilization turn-based strategy. For a little bit, we even tried doing an RTS version actually. Other people. And yes, this mod could be hosted by other people. Why can't someone port this version? Why can't we get an updated version of this mod? Why can't we have all the old functionality back? Why can't we have, look at that, a stack of seer blades, not one seer blade. Wait, there we go. The clay statistics display. Nobody else has it. Soldiers, mounts, showing exactly team numbers and health bars for the Nexuses. Yeah, this is the oldest mod right here. This is the oldest mod, the best of the three old ones. The best right here. This was it. I bet I'm bringing back memories for some people, but why can't we get this back again? Why is it so hard for these new versions to have the same reactivity, the same, all this stuff, yet we bring it in and we're losing functionality constantly? Look at this. The only reason why this mod isn't working is because graphics got updated. Graphics, not code. Graphics. Well, yes, code. I'm wrong. Anyways, this is just a graphics error. In fact, if I was able to host an older version of Java, this would work. However, Java updated so much that this type of graphics doesn't even work. But why can't we have this exact same stuff, just updated version by version until we get it into the 1.21 or 1. What are we at, 22? And wait a minute, look at this mob. All the old stuff works, even some custom mobs thrown in there. Yeah. This was the ClaySoldiers mod. This was it. You'd put 3 of these things together and you watch them all fight, and then you randomly would throw in like random stuff like, ooh, who can get it next? Who can get it next? Who's gonna get this tin leather to give you better HP and armor? Oh, you guys got it. Yep. Okay, next up, throwing in the stack of sticks and flint. We're gonna put them in 2 different directions. Those sticks over there, 1 flint over here. Get upgraded attack. Oh, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna run to the flint and get the secondary upgraded item? Or are they just gonna use the sticks to get normal damage? And this was the old mod. And look, it has all the stuff that's in the newer mods, minus, well, you know, we don't got 1.21 wither and stuff functionality. Actually, wait. We might have Nether Star functionality? No, they didn't have the size code back then. That's what the deal was. You couldn't change the size of mobs. In 1.21 you got the size stuff. Now we didn't have that. We actually had something different. Iron. I'm pretty sure this makes them like slightly taller than other ClaySoldiers. Wait, I think it's slightly taller. Oh wait, I got it. Let me just throw a whole stack of iron here because I don't care. Wait, there he is. Is he slightly taller? I think he is. Yeah, no, he's slightly taller, so the Nether Star item would have worked, even in this older version. And look at that. Red team is out. Red team can no longer respawn, and they only have 1 guy left. Now it's a war between Cyan and Yellow, and they're dealing a lot of damage to the Yellow Nexus. Meanwhile, the Yellow Nexus is more distracted with these already spawned units than defending itself. Now Yellow team's finally respawning, and now the battle is being moved between the 2 Nexuses. We're gonna see who's gonna win. And this is the old mod. And here are the old memories. And somehow we can't put this into modern Minecraft. Somehow Microsoft steals the mod without paying any of the mod developers and adds it to its freaking pay-to-win Bedrock Modpack group. Who knows? It's probably gonna happen next. I wouldn't doubt it. And it looks like Yellow's losing. By the way, the difference between the fire and the all-rounder ability is not just attack speed and tick damage from the fire, but this has the ability to hit soldiers directly on top of it, and it also is much faster on the reload. Now it is taking a lot of damage. I actually want to see who wins. The issue is right now, they're all fighting on top of the Cyan Nexus, meaning it's taking indirect damage, but its soldiers are not taking damage. Cyan respawned, but Yellow has not respawned as many soldiers yet. And it's taking a lot of damage now. This was the mod. This was the mod. I could sit back and watch these guys fight like the entire day. And now I'm kind of upset. How come modern mod packs can't have the same old functionality? functionality. And yes, I know we're quote-unquote adding new stuff, but here, let's take a look over here, right? Okay, we added glass clay soldiers, and that gives you a lot more clay soldiers. Now, let me ask you a question. What is the maximum number of clay soldiers we can spawn into to a game? Because guess what? Back in the old days, there was not a max. There was not a stupid, oh, this is only how many you can spawn in. No, you could spawn in as many as your computer could handle. And here, let me say this. I have a pretty decent computer. Oh, we're starting to get a little bit of lag. Okay. And this is called RTS gaming. That's why we play StarCraft. You do have to completely restart the thing. There we go. And this was the old mod. Here's the old mod, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. And this was literally it. This was mod. This is... Yeah, we got a lot of them drowning down here. That's why we're losing all those numbers finally. And by the way, these spawned in units are separate from their Clay Nexus spawned units. So the Clay Nexus, it spawns its own units basically. So the Nexus spawns its 10. Me spawning 16 doesn't matter compared to the Nexus. The Nexus will keep on respawning its 10. There we go. There we go. This is mod. This is the original mod. And somehow, look, the entire mod's working. We just don't got any graphics. All the graphics are broke. I don't know how this is working right now. I am very grateful that it's working right now, but I literally have no clue why this mod isn't working itself. Alright. By now, when I did this, the mod had broken itself apart so many times, it doesn't even matter. Like, that's why we had to move to 1.12 versions. And those, you could only get to the good ones through Forge, and that's why we moved to Forge. From the Technic to the Forge launcher. And these are the new mods. These are the old mods. Why can't we get this? Why can't we have this again? By the way, this is memories, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have to say. These are old memories. Going back. Messing around with these mods. Playing the game. Having half the clay soldiers fall into the ocean. Which is what, really, that's why you had the walled battle zones. If you didn't have lily pads, all the soldiers would just run into the ocean and start, or any body of water really, and just start suffocating. And this is the old mod. Here it is. Can we have this mod back? ladies and gentlemen, if I get any Minecraft mod makers, any of you guys watching this, can we get this in 1.21 with the glass clay soldiers and all the other stuff from the 1.12 mod? Throw in everything in this mod and boom, you have the perfect clay soldiers mod for 1.21. You don't even need to add this other mod for the recent 1.21 mod I was showing you guys. You don't need it. Why? Because these two versions absolutely carry compared to that. They're all standing on top of it. Blue's gonna go down. Yep. All the battles started moving on top of blue. Blue takes damage. None of the battle is moving on top of these nexuses, so that's why they're not taking damage. But if the battle were to move here and yellow respawns, it passes right through here. Yep. Battle's on top of it. It's gonna start taking damage, as you can see right there. This was the old mod. And we have our winner. The winner of the first round was Cyan Team with a little bit of dirty tactics, ladies and gentlemen, but the true winner and winner of the second round was Yellow Team. Any mod makers, please bring back this game. Also, the code for the 1.12.2 mod is indeed on GitHub. Check it out, please.